Hello friends and welcome back to another episode. In this episode I would like to introduce you to the Minolta SRT-101 which was made in the 60s and 70s, and it's just a tremendous camera. So I bought this used on eBay about 3 months ago for $75, lens included. So this is a tremendous value. So I put quite a few rolls of film through it already, and I'm just ecstatic at the quality of the images from this camera. So let's cover the camera a little bit. Depth of field preview button, self timer, mirror lockup. This is how you release the lens. These are your sync ports for your flash, strobe photography, right? On the top of the camera you have the film rewind. This is a cold shoe, okay? There are no electrical contacts in here, so that's what makes this a cold shoe. There's a little tiny peg here just so that it's kind of a detent so that nothing kind of goes too far forward here, okay? But that's not, so there are no electrical contacts here, which makes it a cold shoe. Okay, you have your ASA film speed selector in here. This is obviously your shutter speed selector, shutter release, film counter. On the bottom, we have here on the bottom the battery jack off and on position, quarter 20 tripod socket, your battery compartment, and obviously you press this in to rewind your film. And on the lens itself is your aperture selection. And let's see what else. Here we have the focus is just, I have never in my life used a camera whose focus is this smooth. It's just phenomenally smooth, and it's so easy. The viewfinder, when you're looking through this viewfinder, it is incredibly easy to acquire focus because the image will so in the center, let's cover this. The center, it has that shimmer feature, right? Like if you're in the desert and you're looking at a mirage, you have that shimmer. So if something's out of focus and you're looking at the middle, it'll shimmer. You keep turning, it'll be dead on, no shimmer. And if you keep turning, you'll get the shimmer again, right? So all you do is you just turn it until the shimmer stops, and you'll see it is so crazy easy to acquire focus with this lens. It's ridiculous. So I'll show you the lens here. It's a 58 1.4, and it just produces beautiful image quality, just tremendous image quality. And again, $75 for the body and the lens included. It's just a tremendous value. I'll show you here. Let me pop it open. Just bear with me a second here. So I'll show you the inside. So there's the film, obviously the film, the shutter. It's got a cloth shutter curtain, but it's just really clean. This camera is 50 years old or so, and it's just tremendously clean. You can tell here. It's just really clean. So this camera has not seen much use. And again, $75 for the body and the lens. And again, this is a tremendous lens. 58 millimeter f1.4. So that I think I've covered. This was used by some famous photographers back in the day. One of my favorite photographers ever was W. Eugene Smith, and W. Eugene Smith used this camera. Okay, I think I've covered. Oh, and the thing I really love about this, so I love analog. So let's cover some of the, like my Nikon FE2 is my favorite among the Nikons because it's got the analog. When you look through the viewfinder on the left side, it's called the matching needles, right? So you have two needles, and you have to bring the needles up, superimpose each other, and that's how you know you have your metering, your light metering is accurate. You superimpose the two needles. But here it's the same principle, but it's in the right side of the viewfinder. So you have the needle, and you just superimpose the two needles like this, and then you know you have accurate metering. And the metering in this camera is absolutely tremendous. It's just phenomenal. The battery, so again, you'll read some, the mercury batteries. Many of these cameras from the 60s and 70s and so forth, they use the mercury battery. They're no longer legal to manufacture, but you can find replacements. And there's no custom hacks. You don't have to put any special wiring in this, because what happens is this camera, long story short, this camera was made for a 1.35 volt battery. And some of the hearing aid batteries and such of nowadays, it's 1.5 volts. So you're thinking, well, 0.15 volts can't make that much difference. And in a way, it's kind of true, but it'll throw your metering off a little bit. Even that 0.15 volts, it can give you inaccurate light meter readings, right? So that your images are either overexposed or underexposed or whatever. But my point is that aftermarket batteries are available for this camera. They're about $9, $10 a piece. They'll last a very long time, but it's dead on. It's a 1.35 volt, and your metering is just absolutely spot on. And again, there's no tweaks. The good thing is you don't have to get in here and do any tweaks with the battery. No hacks, no splicing into the electrical system to try to create some type of a hack. It's just you put the battery in and you're good to go for $8 or $9, and it's a tremendous value. So again, in this camera, one thing I forgot is this camera is very heavy. This camera is much more heavy than its Canon or Nikon counterpart. So it's heavier than the FE2, FM2, F3. This camera is very heavy, and it gives you a sense of confidence to hold this camera. When I hold a camera, I want it to be heavy, and I want it to know that this is industrial, right? This is like a military grade, mil spec, that this thing can withstand some abuse, right? So that's one of my favorite features about this camera is the weight. It's got some heft to it, okay? And I want to show you just here for giggles. So I quit ordering these neck straps. I'm tired of the neck straps. I've ordered so many. So what I'm doing now, I'm just making, right, I just buy 550 paracord, and what I do is I tie it in a knot, and then I use some little cable ties. I use 2 cable ties, and then I snip the cable ties. So I'm making these for pennies, right? These neck straps, I'm done buying the custom neck straps. And that's all there is to that. But again, I'll show you the images. I'll roll the images in now. But I just wanted to show you the camera. $75 body and this tremendous 58 1.4 lens.